Hey y'all, thank you for your likes, your comments, and your subscribes. I am offering personal readings at this time. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find that information in the description box below. So let's get into this message. Let's pull a monthly forecast. We'll look and see what energy you can expect to receive or experience in the upcoming month of July. So let's get into it. What message do you have for the collective at this time regarding the energy surrounding the month of July? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good for the highest good of humanity to come to know. What message can the collective expect to receive or experience surrounding the month of July? What message or energy can the collective expect to receive or experience in the upcoming month of July? Patience came right out, and look how it flew out. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go, you can see it a little better. There you go. Give me one more. Acceptance. So wow, there's the energy of something that you have been working on, something that you have been working towards. You're definitely in the energy of embracing this new cycle that you're stepping in, right? You're having to commit yourself to a different level, right, of whatever it is that you're working on or whatever it is that you are seeking to achieve. You're definitely in the energy of being more aware, of having more patience, and being more confident within your ability to create, being more confident within your ability to transition or kind of be able to shift within the changes that kind of come within the daily habits of life, right? You are accepting this energy of kind of going with the flow, embracing the process, and not trying to rush an outcome. It's almost as if you are stepping in a position where you are learning to be more graceful. You're learning to be more in a moment of presence, right? Where you are not necessarily doing so much reflecting on the past, and you're not necessarily too eager to get to the next phase, right? You're embracing this current moment of presence. You're embracing this current moment where you're just confident in being where you are. You're confident in existing in the life that you have currently created for yourself. You are being more confident with your ability to create within this next phase, but you're not necessarily anxious to get to the next phase. You are embracing this state of just being present, being grateful, and accepting how far you've come, acknowledging the places that you desire to go, but also knowing that or appreciating where you are in the current moment, right? Because in this current moment, you are in the energy of living in an answered prayer is what it feels like. With the discipline, I can accomplish what I set my mind to, right? So this is definitely the energy of just the month of July is just encouraging you to enforce this attitude of gratitude, right? Where you don't have to rush to get to the next phase. Look at the synergy in the color here. You got 2 yellow and 2 purple. So there's definitely the energy of just like mindfulness, right? Being mindful of your thoughts, being mindful of overthinking, being mindful of going too deep into one specific thought, right? Allowing yourself the space to overthink. You're learning to just kind of embrace this moment of presence, not always having to seek the energy of moving towards the next best thing, right? This is the energy of patience, where you are embracing just being grateful for the pure moment of existence, right? So let's pull some tarot. What deck should I use? Let's do these. Clarify this message. Clarify patience. Clarify patience. Ace of Cups. Give me one more. The Nine of Swords, definitely. So definitely being more graceful with yourself, right? This is with the Page of Cups, right? Definitely this confirms what I was just saying. When it comes to like surrounding the energy of just being grateful for how far you come, being grateful for the fact that you are currently in the energy of being in the place where you truly desire to be, right? Giving yourself grace, giving yourself patience, giving yourself the space to grow at a slow and steady pace, right? Not trying to rush something. Clarify this Ace of Cups. What is this that you're nurturing? The King of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, right? With the King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So there's definitely something that you are working on building. There's definitely something that you are creating, whether this is like a family, whether this is just a sense of like resources, right? You have been, it's almost as if you're eager to get to the next phase. Because the King of Wands sometimes is someone who lacks a bit of patience, right? Someone who is usually in his ego, right? This is someone who, this is like boss energy, but this is someone who has the ability to make things happen for themselves, which is also represented by the King of Pentacles. But the King of Pentacles is a more disciplined energy. It's a more committed. It's less egotistical. It's more of a traditional energy, right? So there's something that you're seeking or something that you're pouring into that you've been working on very diligently. You have been kind of, let's clarify this Nine of Swords. What is it that you have been anxious about, or what is it that has been keeping you up at night? You got the Temperance card and the Four of Wands. So with the Sun, so there's definitely a sense of anxiety regarding a relationship, or regarding a connection. This almost feels like it is related to love. It doesn't necessarily have to be, but the Four of Wands is usually the Four of Wands with the Temperance, the King of Pentacles, and the Sun definitely screams romance to me. It is, the Temperance card also represents patience, which is funny that it's clarifying the Patience card, right? Because it speaks to this energy of alchemy. It speaks to this energy of being mindful of the energy of creation, right? You don't when you put a pizza in the oven, you don't stare through the window and watch it bake, right? Or when you put a cake in the oven or whatever, cookies or whatever, you don't stand in the mirror of the window of the oven and watch it bake. So this is the energy of kind of you trusting the fact that you have incorporated all of the necessary you have incorporated the necessary elements that are required in order to step into whatever it is that you're creating, right? You've done this. It's almost as if you are anxious about the transformation of a connection, right? Because it's almost as if you are worried about the truth of being, I don't necessarily want to say exposed, but seen on a deeper level, right? Seen in ways, in areas in which maybe you don't necessarily have, or maybe you things that you choose to not necessarily look at all the time. Sometimes we purposely choose to not deal with certain things because maybe we just don't have the courage to face those things in that moment. But when someone else comes along and they have the ability to kind of see through that, there's no way for you to kind of ignore that any longer, right? So there's definitely the energy here of you just being patient, you being graceful with yourself in with how something manifests. Clarify this temperance. What is it that you're creating or bringing to life? Judgment. It's something that you're meant to do with the Eight of Cups and the Tower. It's something that's going to drastically change your life. It's definitely going to almost indulge you in this sense of creating a new foundation, right? It's almost like it's going to throw you into your life's purpose, right? This is definitely not a slow and steady energy. The slow and steady energy is here where you're learning to have patience and things, but this temperance, judgment, and tower is almost like a quick, fast action where it's almost as if once you step into this energy of grace, it's that sense of duality where once you learn how to have patience with yourself and the energy within the things that you create, it's almost going to thrust you into what it is that you are seeking to fulfill, or what it is that you are feeling called to pursue at this time, right? It's something that's going to break down your barriers of being able to exist within this new reality. But this definitely feels like a connection of some kind with the Four of Wands. Clarify this Four of Wands. What is this Four of Wands? This definitely is like you leaving behind a past version of yourself. The Three of Swords and the High Priestess with the Page of Cups. So there's definitely something that you could have experienced within your past regarding some type of heartbreak or regarding some type of experience that kind of left you feeling, I hate to use the word trauma, but it's almost like a traumatic something that you experienced that was kind of traumatic within some type of connection, and you're almost worried about making yourself vulnerable within the same manner because you are afraid of how that is going to bring up old habits, past triggers, things that you may have thought you have overcome, but you haven't necessarily dealt with them. You have just chosen to ignore them here with the Nine of Swords. It's something that you have chosen not to acknowledge because it was something that you didn't completely wish to deal with at that time. Clarify pride. Clarify pride. The Strength. Wow, that is interesting that Strength came out and Clarify pride because that's the same energy. So definitely, see, you got the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. That's a divine match with the World. So there's definitely the energy of here, you feeling confident that something is what you perceive it to be, right? It is as strong, it is as confident. There is this sense of confidence that you have within this creation, whatever it is. It's almost as if you have the faith in knowing that whatever this connection is, or if it's not a relationship for you, it can be anything, right? This is a general reading. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship, but the Four of Wands is indicative of a committed connection, right? So it's almost as if you have this sense of confidence or this sense of faith that whatever this is has the ability to create or sustain this sense of wealth. Like there's this sense of abundance that can be created, maintained, and sustained from whatever this connection is, right? The World, it has the ability to change not only your reality, but also the reality of others as well, right? With that Temperance and Judgment card, that definitely speaks to a transformation that you're going to bring based on you stepping into this calling, you stepping into this sense of purpose, right? You answering, right? The Judgment card speaks to the chosen one, right? Everybody hears the sound of the horn, but only few are chosen, right? Because only a few choose to answer the sound of the horn, right? But everyone has the ability to hear it. And so this is you, like, almost like a shit or get off the pot moment. Like, are you going to answer that calling that you feel? Or are you going to continue to maintain this sense of fear, maintain this sense of anxiety, and maintain this sense of self-preservation out of fear of being exposed for the things that you were choosing to ignore within yourself, right? Regarding this heartbreak, regarding there's something that you have just like close yourself off to, right? It's almost as if you're aware that it's there, but you don't necessarily speak on it, because the High Priestess is someone who observes. She doesn't speak unless she has a truth to tell, right? She doesn't indulge in conversations that don't really hold a sense of depth or value. She only speaks when it's necessary. She's more of the observer. So this is definitely, whatever this incoming energy is going to force your hand in expressing yourself within this manner, right? Expressing the parts of yourself that you were choosing to ignore, right? Expressing the parts of yourself that where you felt vulnerable to, right? The World and the Death card, the Death card right underneath the World card, there's some sort of transformation. There's some sort of ending and new beginning that you're experiencing in order to have this new sense of growth here with the Seven of Pentacles under the Death. Whatever this transformation is, the moment that you choose to step into this new reality, the moment that you choose to answer this calling, is the moment that you are going to progress. The Seven of Pentacles also represents the energy of patience. It represents the energy of being in the moment of creation. This is definitely a divinely guided message, right? It definitely is giving like divine guidance where you are, I don't want to necessarily say doubting the guidance that you're receiving from God, but it's almost as if you are hesitating to take that step out of fear of facing these fears regarding matters of the heart. Whatever these fears are that you have regarding matters of the heart, and this Four of Wands sense of but the Four of Wands represents like marriage. It represents connection. It represents a relationship that is celebrated. It's a mirror connection, right? Some people say that it's the twin flame. This is not a twin flame channel. Everybody is not a twin flame. That is only a specific relationship, right? Not everybody can be considered a twin flame. That is a divine calling, and that's not just a title that you can claim, right? But this does represent like twin energy, mirrored energy, right? A connection that represents a reflection between two mirrored souls. Clarify acceptance. The Wheel of Fortune. The King of Wands came back out. So, okay, this is and look, the world came right back. You cannot make this stuff up. The world came right back. Remember, it was at the bottom of the deck over here. So, the King of Wands, remember I said this is someone who goes after the things that they want. They don't take no for an answer. This is someone who forges the path, right? Someone who is the creator of their own world, someone who is the creator of their own. This is the King of Wands represents someone who creates businesses. It's a boss energy, someone who so this is definitely the energy of you here creating this sense of desire within change. So July will definitely bring forth like the areas in which it will bring acknowledgement into the areas in which you need to be more gentle with yourself, be more, clarify the Wheel of Fortune. What is this new cycle of karma that's being created from this level of acceptance? The Eight of Wands, a passionate desire, something that drives you. The Eight of Wands is a very passionate energy. It's an energy that you can't ignore. It's almost like a yearning, right? There's something that like your spirit yearns for. It calls for whatever this is that you're creating, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a business, whatever, however it relates to you personally. This is a general reading. But this is an energy of like, again, it goes along with this forging the fire. Your spirit is calling for this. The Judgment card, right? Your spirit is yearning for this sense of change. Your spirit is yearning for this sense of desire, right? And so the month of July is just going to encourage you to step into this energy of acceptance, right? Being more willing to accept this energy of change, whatever this transformation here that this tower is bringing. Let's actually look into that. What transformation is this tower bringing? What does this transformation look like regarding this tower? What does this transformation look like regarding this tower? Because the tower also represents a sense of enlightenment. And guess what came out? The divine match to the King of Wands. Did I not say that this is like twin energy? The Four of Wands, it's a reflection. You have the King of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. This is look, in the Six of Swords, you cannot make this shit up. You cannot make it up. This is whatever it is, it's meant to come into your life at this time. This is meant for you to indulge in. This new path that you're so afraid to take steps towards is what you're called to do, right? You ever heard that saying, if your goals don't scare you a little bit, then they're not big enough, right? This is that energy. Stop being so afraid to step into the energy where you're being forced to look at yourself in areas in which you may need improvement, in areas in which, like your strengths and weaknesses, right? This seems like the energy of someone who kind of like mirrors your strengths and weaknesses. There could be things in like you could share common strengths, you can share common weaknesses, or you can be strong in the areas in which the other person is weak, and vice versa, right? This is a mirrored energy, so it's not going to resonate for everybody in the same exact way, because this is a general reading. Book a personal reading if you want to see how this resonates for you personally. But generally, this is something that it's like a magnetizing energy, right? Two polar opposites, yin and yang. They belong together even though they're different. You cannot, like, one cannot exist without the other. That's that sense of yearning, that sense of desire, that sense of passionate, like, I must have it. Like, my spirit calls for this. Like, I hate being distant from whatever this is. The month of July is strongly encouraging you to embrace this desire that you have been so unwilling to step into, right? There's a calling, there's a purpose on your life to fulfill this desire, right? With these two cards here, the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands, this is these two are kind of like spiritually guided, right? They both have this type of like spiritual connection. They both have this strong energy of attraction where they have this ability to manifest whatever it is that they feel that they want or desire, right? The King of Wands and the Queen of Wands also represents this energy of attraction, right? The Queen of Wands is Aphrodite energy. She's very beautiful, and so is the King of Wands. They're both a very attractive energy, right? And attractive energy doesn't necessarily mean strictly looks, right? Attractive energy is just your ability to create, right? Your ability to bring in things that you desire. The energy of creation. This King and Queen of Pentacles also represents that same energy, but in a more stable way, in a more nurturing way, right? Where they have the ability to kind of create a sense within a wealth of resources, right? Whatever those resources look like, whether that's time, money, attention, however the resources show up in your personal life, this couple has a divine calling to kind of, again, create that sense of resources, create that sense of community, create that sense of family, create that sense of wealth and abundance, not only within themselves, but they have enough to create that within the world around them, right? They inspire others based on what it is that they have to create, right? The Queen of Pentacles almost gives me the energy of, how can I put it into words? This is mom and dad. It basically gives that, right? The mother and the father. They're very stable. They're very grounded. They have the ability to create a sense of safety and security within the home. They have the ability to create a healthy and wealthy family, right? They're very committed. They're very traditional energy, right? A very faithful energy. Okay, so let's pull the angel answers to close this message out. Any last messages that you have regarding this message? This is a beautiful energy. So you're definitely being called to step into your confidence, right? This is facing your fears, stepping into the energy that you have been kind of hesitant or reserving yourself, right? There is this energy of self-preservation, but you're being called to step out of that, to embrace this energy of confidence and pride, and really facing your fears and stepping into your purpose, right? Really, literally walking in your divine faith, walking in your divine purpose, right? The Judgment card speaks to your divine purpose, your divine calling. But with the Tower card, it also speaks to like a sense of enlightenment, being made aware. So if you are not aware that you have a divine calling on your life, I'm here to tell you that if you are here watching this reading, there is a divine calling on your life. There is a divine purpose that you are meant to serve. And the month of July is going to place you in positions where you are going to be faced with stepping into that calling, right? You're going to be encouraged to take that step towards walking in your faith, right? Not just believing in it, not just expressing it, but literally walking in your faith. Close this message out. You have asked for help from others. Forgiveness and perfect timing. And look, if you believe came out as well, with no need to worry at the bottom of the deck, right? So because this is your divine calling, there literally is nothing for you to be afraid of. It's just the sense of overthinking that you have, right? A fear from your past. You are anxious. You're worried about repeating a cycle here. But the energy here is saying that you have, literally in the readings that have been coming up, you are no longer in the cycle that you have experienced in the past. You are in a new cycle, right? You are in a new phase of your life. Even if it doesn't necessarily look like it, the energy that is surrounding us right now, the planetary positions and the way that things have been shifting, we are currently within a new cycle energetically. And that the month of July is going to encourage you to step into what that looks like physically. So spiritually, you're in one reality, and the month of July is going to reflect, right, with that Four of Wands. It's going to reflect that energy within your physical reality. If you believe, if you have faith, if you have the courage, the confidence to kind of step towards your calling, your divine faith. Ask for help for others is speaking from that sense of Four of Wands, where you're not afraid to look at your mirror and face the facts, right? Look at the imperfections and make them perfect, right? Forgive yourself from the things from the lessons that you had no knowledge of in the past, and forgive yourself, allowing yourself to take those lessons and apply them to your current reality, right? And learn and grow from that. But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonates. I'll see you later. Bye.